is good, beautiful people? Welcome back to Miss Best Reviews channel. I'm Mrs. Best, and we have our co-host James from the Watch Your Mouth Reviews channel, who is here as well. Welcome in, James, and hello to everybody. You guys, the link to James's channel is in the description of this video. It's just a simple clickable link. You can also check out our playlist, which many of them are playlists to shows that we recap on his channel. So if you like what he has to say, feel free to subscribe to his channel as well, because he recaps shows as well. But let's get into this recap and review of Love and Hip Hop Miami season 6 episode 10 TNT. The whole episode for me was just a hot mess express. Like, everybody's mad about things. Ciao Bella, Kathy, welcome in. Everybody's mad about things that to me are just not worth it to be mad about. And I'm assuming it could be because, it's a reality TV show and that could be what it is. But we start the episode with Flo. Florence Luce is mad at Shay. And the reason she's mad at Shay is because Shay has decided to be friends with Amada La Negra, which is stupid. So Flo is so mad at Shay without telling her that she's mad, which bothers me because I'm like, how are you gonna be mad at somebody but not let the person know that you're upset at them? So Shay's walking in the Flo spot like there's no issue. And she shows her anger, Miss Flo, by taking Shay's products off the shelf. I said, them the people you got to watch out for, because if you not about your money and you let your anger get in the way of your money, because Shay's products sell. We could feel how we feel about Bucky from Flavor of Love, but she has made over 1 million in sales. So people are buying her products. People have said good things about her products. I believe James has spoken positively about them at one point. I don't see anything causing Flo to take the products off the shelf. James, do you feel like that was petty or even worth it? Or
Of course it was petty. It was petty as hell. It was like, this is business. And how you personally feel about her being friends with Amar when she was friends with Amar before she was friends with you, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous for you to even think beyond that doing this was okay, ma'am. It was really ridiculous of you. And this goes to show you how mature Flo really is.
yeah, Flo, well, we also know that she's not smart. She's just not smart at all, in my opinion. So after hearing all of that, basically Flo and Shay do talk, and Shay tells Flo that the situation with Amada and Alan is not even what she thinks, because Flo doesn't know that Amada is friends with Alan and suggested to him that he get back with her. I still personally feel like Amada is wrong, because why you even having a friendship with him, you know how that's going to look, you know what that's going to do. She knew what it was, but she ended up feeling bad for him. Shani said, welcome in. Hey twin, hey there, brother. It was good seeing your beautiful face yesterday. So I don't watch this one. Gonna hit the like button and finish Housewives of New York. Ah, a Roni watcher. I think you're one of the first people who like subscribes to me and James who like has said watches Roni.
Yeah, because I don't have too many of y'all on my channel. So, Shandy, thank you for stopping by. But yeah, enjoy that. I hope it's good because I'm hearing the last episode was good.
Mm. I feel like people are like being over dramatic with the negative Housewives of New York reviews. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. She's so sweet. She's so sweet. I always smile when you come by, Shandy. I hope you enjoy your Housewives of New York as well. I used to watch it, but once they did the reboot, I said I can't keep up. But yeah, y'all, Flo is doing the most. She does reveal to Shay that she's talking to Alan, who is Amada's baby daddy. And Shay explained, Shay, I actually agreed with Shay through most of this episode. She basically told Flo, like, okay, that's not a flex. Alan ain't nobody. That's nothing to be proud of. Because Shay knows that man is still married. He done played Amada. He done come at black women. He done the most. So it's like you getting with Alan, that's not even get back fully, just off the simple fact that if he'll sleep with Gael, he'll sleep with anybody. He will. Oh, we lost James. I just added him back. I'm not sure if I accidentally deleted him or what. But welcome back, James. But yeah, I agreed with Shay. Like Alan is no prize. This is not nobody to be proud of. So this is not get back. Nobody seemed to want him but Amada. Um, but it's we learned that Shay's gonna have a tea party because she's releasing a new tea bag. Great job, Shay. That's what I'll say for that. Now, James, do you have anything you wanted to add?
No, I couldn't hear you. I had to leave the live and come back in because I couldn't hear you at all. I was like,
Oh
uh-oh.
Lord, I hope you can hear me now. I'm assuming you can. I'm
It goes
assuming.
in and out. The volume is like very low. But what were you saying before when I left?
Oh, I was just saying about Shay. She's gonna have a tea party, and she made a good point about Alan not being something that you should be proud of. He sleep with anybody. That is not get back. He's trash, and everybody knows it.
Oh no,
But
I
yeah.
agreed with her when she said that. I did. I agreed with her because I kind of felt like even though I don't put it past Marlon to cross boundaries with other women, as he slept with her sister and probably a slew of other women as well, I kind of felt like her trying to do get back was petty and stupid. Because at the
Mhm.
end of the day, it doesn't solve the real issue, which is you and your husband not being in your marital home.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Flo is again, she's not smart, y'all. She's not smart. We move on to Ching Diamond. She goes to the studio and she meets up with Derek Milano. I said, "Oh Lord, somebody else is trying to do music with Derek." You could tell MTV or shit, which network is this? VH1 was like, "We got to get big names. Let's pull them into the show and let's make sure that all the people do music with him." Because everybody I see now that goes to do music with Derek Milano, I'm expecting them to act a fool. That's just my personal expectation now. But she discusses being a BBW woman in the industry, and she talks about how people always comment on her weight, so she beats them to the punch basically, which I kind of sense she was doing that anyway. I think most people sense it, but I do like her attitude overall about being a larger woman in music. Uh, I think there's a way to handle yourself. Lean into it. Some people do like Lizo did and just walk around half naked all the time. But whatever you have to do to be confident in yourself, in my opinion, I support that as long as you're not hurting anybody else. Um, However, her man calls. She gets in the studio and is recording a song, and her man calls while she's recording. And he tells her, because he's locked up, that the guards found a shank in his room. And now, because of that, he is for sure going to get more time. And I'm just like, okay, so she has a meltdown, this Ching Diamond, which I expected because everybody who seemed to come to Derek's studio sessions have like emotional breakdowns, drama, all this crazy stuff. However, comma, Ching, I do respect you at the very least for going and crying in public or in private versus in the middle of that session, which in my opinion is unprofessional. Like just because you do music or just because you're an actor or just because you have a job where you are your own boss and don't answer to too many people doesn't mean that you should lack professionalism. So I was glad to see Ching at least go outside and take a moment to herself instead of freaking out in the studio. Uh, that's all that really happened with that scene. James, did you have anything to add?
I don't understand like her. I mean, I understand her crying because it does put more of a sentence on him for having a weapon in prison and everything. But girl, you weren't coming out there no way. So I don't understand why you sitting up there just hooping and crying. That parole officer ain't gonna let him come out there.
Wait, why did he say that? Like the uncle and the auntie, the OGs that just know.
Because like
Hey,
no, because that's
uh-oh, we lost James again. He was saying something, but I'm cracking up. He said that man wasn't coming to you, which he has a point. The parole officers, they have to approve you a lot of times to parole or go to a different state. The only way that that doesn't happen is if you do, I believe, like 85% or more of your time, at least in California. But I'm cracking up because James really came at us like the uncle. You know that boy ain't coming home.
no, she no he well no, I didn't say he wasn't coming home. He ain't coming to Miami. Like they're not gonna approve that travel like that. Because Miami is the quintessential place of what he went to prison for. So
Mm.
why would they risk him going out there knowing that all of that influence is there?
James said he's a
Like,
repeat offender and it's not a good environment. I
right. It's not. So it's like I don't understand what she was crying for. Like like girl, you knew that there was going to be a probability even if he were to get out. He's not coming out there.
It's just like if you date a jailbird, what do you expect?
Right. Like
That's
I'm
like
not trying
dating a
to hate on
boxer
her
and
situation, but it's like, girl, like come on. Like now you got to be real.
it's like
Like
dating a boxer and then expecting him not to hit people, dating a therapist, expecting them not to ask you about your feelings, like certain things.
no,
I get where
it's
you're coming
like
from with
date no, it's even worse than that. It's like dating a chef and expecting him not to cook.
that. Yeah, that's the
Like,
one.
it's inevitable, like, that's the whole purpose. So, I mean, my heart goes out to her, it does, but I want her to stop playing on these cameras, like, I really do, like, that man ain't coming out there, like, it's not happening. Now, once he if you really wanna stick beside him, you need to go back to Nebraska, set up a place for him, go out there, put your little career, what it can do out there for the most part, and then when he's, in a safe stability place, then y'all come to Miami together and take over, but not right now. No, that doesn't make sense to me.
You know what? That's actually a good point. I think a good example of that was Cardi B when she was on Love and Hip Hop New York when she was dating. I believe his name was Tommy. He was locked up. She soon as she got big, moved on. So I mean, you can hold people down all you want, but some people just gonna keep going to jail. It's just what it is. Unfortunately, we all know somebody like that. But moving on, you guys, we did see Eliza Rain. She is back. I don't know why. Her BBL stresses me out, but she's having a promo shoot for her company. It's an international oil company called Foreign. And Amada comes by, and this is where we learned that the name for Eliza's oil brand, Foreign, she claims that this name was stolen from her by Estelita. Here's my thing, y'all. And James, please cut me off if you feel differently. This is not a unique name for a brand. In my opinion, I have heard of brands that go by the title of Foreign. I've seen pop up shots, little boutiques, just driving throughout California or on vacations. Foreign, I've seen so many different companies by that name, so many products with that name. To me, that's like naming your child Jessica and expecting it to be a unique name, in my opinion. It's one of those things. So I'm looking like y'all arguing over the name Foreign.
I've
Why?
also seen that name as well. I think she's tripping. And I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. This is going to sound really, really bad, and I'm sorry ahead of time for people who do get offended by this. But I really thought Eliza Rand and Amy Luciani was the same person.
They look
I
the same
really
a little
thought
bit
they
in
were
the
the
face.
same person, cause I'm like, "Girl, why is you tripping? You was finna marry Dwight Howard, he got all this money, why is you tripping over a name?" And I don't know who I was talking to on the phone, and they told me, "James, that is 2 different people." I said, "That's not the same person. What am I watching?" So, but no, I definitely agree that she just wants to be angry, like Amy Luciani would wanna be angry, she just wants to be angry, and it's like, "Girl, go somewhere, sit down."
These people mad over brands that nobody really buying in bulk. I'm sure people who watch the show might purchase them,
Right. People
but
who watch the show, but is Estelita over there at the flea market selling these eyelashes and shit? No. So let's go ahead and let's move on from this. It's not that big of a deal.
I would not advise anyone to buy or purchase their eyelashes from a flea market. I think some things should just be purchased in a certain standard of setting as
I
well
don't
as
think Estelita's gonna make it into beauty supply. I just really don't. So I'm saying flea market just to give her some distribution of something.
it's a mess. It's just a mess. Y'all, not too much happened with this stupid scene. Amada explained all the drama between, her and Flo, and it mentions how Estelita rode for her. And this is where we learn from Eliza that she fired Van, the messy gay, running around the show from person to person. He is no longer Eliza's manager. And I was like, okay, Eliza did not speak about him negatively. She was just like, I have nothing to say. Like, I'm done with him. I'm like, okay, that's very strange. But apparently Black China and Eliza used to dance together when they was both strippers back in the day in Miami, as they describe it, a very well-known strip club in Miami. And Black China is going to be hosting an event that's aimed and I am not being judgmental, y'all. Y'all might get mad at me for this, but the event is aimed at showing and demonstrating to strippers that there is life after stripping. Here's the thing. I've known a few strippers. Me and James have a mutual friend who has stripped. I I don't judge you for stripping or anything, but every stripper that I've ever met or know, because I do know some people who still do it to this day, they got into it with a plan, like, or with the intention to not do it forever. So the idea of the event is odd to me, but I understand she's trying to relate through her experience, and I'll reserve the rest of my comments till after we see the event. James, is there anything you would like to add?
Um, Not particularly at this part of the video. Like you said, we understand to some degree what she's trying to do, the message she's trying to convey. But for me, I feel like it's kind of like past tense because I feel like she wasn't in her element of chaotic when she was stripping. It was more so when she was trying to become the reality star, if I'm not mistaken. So I kind of feel like I hear what she's saying and I understand the message, but I feel like that needs to be geared more towards the reality TV more than it does the stripping, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, you made sense. You made sense. You made sense. You a writer. You made sense. By the by, anyone interested in reading a book, check out James Jackson. Look him up. He's on Amazon. He has written books. We are gonna move on to Zoe and Ching Diamond. They end up going to work out. I said these big girls don't know what to do. Okay, if you're gonna be big and you love being big and you're comfortable and healthy, then be big and love yourself big and be comfortable and healthy. But y'all went from ordering everything that Trick had to offer off the Sundays menu, fried, to and some baked chicken, to now they in the gym working out. And we was just saying on the last recap, Zoe, you was talking about wanting to feel better, get healthier, have more stamina, endurance, and things like that with performing. And where did that go? Now you suddenly eating chicken on the Instagram. But it they work out together. Zoe tries to, push some positivity. So good for her there. But she does talk to Ching about her relationship with Kelvin. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm bored of this storyline with Zoe, and it feels disingenuous. But her and Kelvin supposed to be going to counseling, which unfortunately I will have to cover and comment on shortly. Ching Diamond then brings up her man, and Ching also mentioned she's going to perform for Shay at the event that we are going to see toward the end of the show. And this is where Zoe warns her. She's like, just be careful with Shay because she be fat shaming. The only thing I found wrong with that is Zoe, your sister put you in a situation to have beef with Shay. You would not have a problem with Shay if your sister did not lie about not only being pregnant at that time, but who she was pregnant by, having sex with the person who allegedly made her pregnant, who she had never actually met in person. So those Shay should not have fat shamed because I feel like you could read somebody for filth without shaming them on their physical. Your sister did lie, and you came at her with all of this extra stuff on TV for a lie. So I don't like Shay, no, but Zoe, you making yourself look innocent when you're not. James, how did you feel about that?
I 100% agree with you. I feel like Zoe, that's you need to be looking at your sister more so than Shay. Like that doesn't give Shay the right to fat shame you, but we all know that at the end of the day, Shay does not have any couth, and she was just looking for a reason for this situation to be wrong, and you gave it to her because the situation was wrong. So the moment
Mhm.
you do that, there is no way to put boundaries on what she's going to say. She's going to say the first gutter thing that's going to come out her mouth, and that's all she's ever done. We have seen this lady on TV for 20 years. This is
Mm.
what she does. I don't understand why this is such a big surprise. Now, I do agree with Zoe that James need to look out for her, like need to like look at her with spidey senses, but that's about it. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point that I missed that you brought up too, because Shay is definitely someone you got to watch. Because the moment she gets a man, she changes, and she just messy and shit. Like Zoe said, she be throwing stuff. And we we know nobody want to get nothing thrown at them. But keeping it lit, y'all. Moving on. We did see Estelita. There was a lot. James, did you feel like there were so many like small scenes that made no sense to me this episode? But we will keep on keeping on. Now, Estelita meets with Van, who is the good friend of Bobby Lights, ex-manager of Eliza Rain. He's just, in my opinion, everywhere and a little bit messy. But Estelita meets with Van and they discuss Eliza because they are no longer cool. And this is where Van says to Estelita, like, Eliza's not your actual friend. And Estelita um, listens to what Van has to say, and he explains how Eliza is going around telling people that Foreign, the name Foreign for her brand, was stolen from her from Estelita. And Estelita made the comment that when Eliza told her that she was going to name her international oil line Foreign, she felt like, oh, I'm so embarrassed for her. Why? Is there something I'm missing, y'all? Because I listen, I'm a little bit of a nerd, so I'm like, is that an offensive name for an international oil line? I mean, is it body oil? Is it just oil that you can burn? Like, what kind of oil is it? Because people keep talking about it, and I don't even know what the hell they selling, and I'm not going to buy it to find out. Okay, I'm not going to do it. But Estelina eventually explains that her business was in the process already at the time that Eliza came and talked to her about what she would want to name her business. Personally, I don't care. I don't feel like either of them add much to the show. I will say Eliza adds a little bit more than Estelita. I don't care. I do believe that Estelita probably had her business already in motion. I genuinely feel like they both just chose a very common name that people choose for businesses in general. And now they got to figure out who's going to do what. And I'm like, did y'all even check if the trademark or was available? Because this could be the brand name could be belong to somebody else. So it's stupid to me. It's stupid to me as a whole. James, how did you feel about that?
The same way you did is stupid.
It is. We're not going to sit here and argue over a name. You know how many businesses have the same name, the exact same name, and they may do two entirely different things. Some may do the same thing, but this is something that happens all the time. Promote your business, make it stand out, do the work. That's how I feel. Now, Van then explains that he is not cool with Eliza because she is upset because he was her manager. So managers book gigs for you and things of that nature. I guess from Van's perspective, Eliza was not getting and landing certain gigs that were bigger, specifically a gig. They referred to one that was larger. Van feels like Eliza's baby daddy, who is the rapper Future or singer, whatever the hell you call Future, but she basically, Van feels like he is blacklisting her because of one, how she had the baby. Allegedly, she trapped them. Two, her child support them been lessened and all this crazy stuff. She not even getting the money she thought she would get for the baby. They have actual beef. This is why you don't trap a man, because you never know. They're not all gonna claim your child now. But Van thinks that Future is upset and is blacklisting her to a certain extent, which I do believe, because he's known to be petty. He's known to not be the best parent, and he's, I mean, hey, it goes with the reputation, but based on how she had that baby, I wouldn't be surprised if he was bad and petty in some way. And that's probably why she turned to real estate. But Van goes on to talk more about Eliza. Like, he sang like a canary in every way of the word. He says and shows receipts that Eliza's not a good parent or grandparent. We see text messages from him to Eliza because he's checking on the baby, her grandchild that was born early and was fighting for their life. And apparently, Eliza's like, I'm not going to film, basically. I'm not going to see the baby without the cameras present for the show. So I'm like, okay. So Van goes further, tells Estelita how Eliza called her an empanada. I don't know why that pisses off Estelita, but this is not the first time somebody on Love and Hip Hop has referred to her as empanada instead of Estelita. And she gets so mad. Like Estelita be ready to fight when she's called empanada. And I can't understand it. And this may be childish of me because I love empanadas. Okay. Empanadas are delicious. Instead of getting mad, be like, and they're delicious, bitch. Now what? I'm yummy. Like, I don't understand it. But Estelita was really upset that she was called empanada. And here's the thing, Van did not lie. But just because you fall out with somebody doesn't mean that it's okay for you to go and tell all their secrets, all their business. Like that to me is childish and says that you're just as bad as this person. Because when somebody comes to you and is like, oh, yeah, girl, she did this and that, she's awful. But you was okay with her being awful when you guys were okay. So now that you're not okay, it's suddenly egregious. So I'm looking at Van with the side eye now. But I do believe everything he said about Eliza. And we know that Estelita's gonna come barking like a pit bull ready to fight because she don't want to be called an empanada, even though they're delicious. So that's my take on it, James. How did you feel about all that Van had to say and
I
expose?
felt like that was unnecessary.
Hmm.
Regardless if I like Eliza Rain or not, I feel like you don't need to be exposing any of her business, regardless of what's going on between her and Future and the baby, regardless of what's going on between her daughter and the grandchild. I feel like that's not your place to put that out there. Secondly, Estelita, Carly Red called you empanada enchilada when you were on Love and Hip Hop. And the fact that you didn't fight her for doing that, then you don't need to fight anybody else for calling you empanada today. That's how I feel.
Preach. And in that order and with those words, thank you for giving us the exact receipt in person who called her that. And empanadas are hella good. And that's that. Now,
Even if
Amada
they were
and
nasty, we don't know that lady name like that to be calling her by her government name. So empanada, enchilada is the same shit.
you making me want enchiladas. You have a point though. You do have a point. Like Estelita doesn't realize she's supporting cast. She's not even a main cast member. And I feel like she thinks she's gonna fight her way into the cast. But we're tired. Go to Zeus. Go fight all those other people. You'll get more money too, they say. Now, Amada and Marlon meet at the top of a parking garage with a great view, by the way. Miami's beautiful. There's nothing anyone can tell me to tell me that that city is not beautiful. It's beautiful. It's sinking, but it's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Now, the reason Marlon wants to meet with Amada is to explain that, my wife is hanging out with your baby daddy and this is a problem. And he tells her about it and Amada is trying to act like it's no big deal. She's like, I get it. It's her get back, for me being friends with Marlon. But you could tell Amada was bothered by that, which is interesting because Alan is a married man and never even belonged to her. She was a mistress. Like this was deeper than a side chick. Side chicks just when you know, dating somebody who got a girlfriend or something like that or is engaged. But when you are dating and in a relationship with somebody else's husband, you are a mistress, bitch. And I will allow you to be reminded that that is what you are, Amada. So I'm like, I'm not even gonna waste time, y'all. I think Amada's wrong. I think that Marlon is wrong. Alan is wrong. Flo is wrong. Everybody's wrong. Everybody's wrong. And that's just how I feel. Flo should have never threw that drink. Amada should have never hit up Marlon as get back. Flo should have not gone and got with Alan. It's because she's with your ex-husband or your soon-to-be ex-husband when you allege to not care. And Marlon, you never make friends with your wife's ops, especially while you're trying to get her back. So to me, they're all wrong. They're all dingy. They all lack intelligence. James?
I couldn't have said that better myself. I really couldn't have because you are absolutely right. And I want Marlon and Fluff to stop playing in our faces for this check. Y'all know y'all not breaking up. Y'all know and y'all like this isn't over between you two. So stop playing. And Amara, you don't need to feel no type of way about Alan sleeping with anybody when you are one of many in the Rolodex. So I don't want to hear this from you.
Thank you. Confirmed by her and Alan. Moving on, you guys. Feel free to comment your opinions also if you feel differently. Everyone's comments are welcome. Zoe and Kelvin, her fiance slash man, whatever the hell, they go to see her pastor. I'm not wasting too much time on this scene because I feel like most of it is BS. Now, Zoe says that talking to her pastor is important to her. And it's because she dealt with some type of abuse from a family member, which does play more into the dynamic with her family when we first met her and how they were all kind of separate from her. But she basically admits she's not fully healed. Her pastor is the one who helps her through things. It seems like she doesn't know what she wants, but Kelvin knows what he wants. I feel like Kelvin is helping her because she needed the help and he really does care about her. He's opened his house, he's helped her with her career. There's a lot that he's done. And it seems like she's just being ungrateful. The pastor seems to point out that Zoe is not fully healed, which she agrees. And you cannot be with somebody when you're not fully healed, especially if you're sabotaging your own stuff, as Zoe is. So the pastor makes a good suggestion that they spend time apart. And it's very clear, in my opinion, that Zoe is the problem in the situation. But what I will say is, I'm bored of this storyline. I'd rather see the dynamic with her family and all of that than her, in my opinion, being mean to this man, accept a proposal she don't really know that she want. That's how I feel. Um, James, that's all I got.
Um, because I agree with what you said about this as well. I feel like once again when he proposed, like she just didn't want to say no because of the fear of losing him, and she said yes in terms thinking that her emotions would change, and they didn't.
Mm,
So her doing all of this, going to this pastor and trying to salvage whatever their relationship is, all because she doesn't want to use the stability of him as her manager. And I think that that's where they need to blur the lines
yeah, yeah.
is him just being the manager and just doing that, or him just being her boyfriend and she go get management. Like they need to stop, clouding each space and trying to make things work when they clearly don't. Because she's the only one that's really unhappy. I don't know about him because we don't really get too much of his side. Like I don't feel like I got enough of his point of view to
Mm,
really understand like the dynamic, and all we have is Zoe just constantly complaining about it. So
yeah, yeah. It makes it hard to judge what's really going on. He doesn't say much. He doesn't say much.
yeah,
Uh,
and
are, go ahead.
that's why I was so confused by that scene because I was like, okay, what is the real issue? 'Cause it seems like he doesn't know what her real problem is.
That's what
And
I
then she
get
was,
because he's saying to everybody involved, "I want to be with you." He's trying to show his commitment. He's opened his home. He's done so much and makes it very clear that he wants her. It seems like she doesn't know if she wants him.
yes. And she's making it seem like there's underlying issues. And we don't have a clear perception of what that is because she's not explaining things right. And
She
that's why
has
I
to
get
speak
frustrated
up.
with her because, huh?
She has to speak up like this comment says, because we're
Oh,
lost.
yeah, she does. Sorry, I didn't see that coming. Yeah, no, she does because, but one, not only does she need to speak up, but she needs to be clear on what the issue is. Do you have an issue that you don't want to be with him, but you feel guilty because he's picking up the pieces, giving you a place to stay, helping you with your career, and going above and beyond? Like, are you like, is he mean? Like, I need her to say more because I don't get it. I just don't.
Mm. Yeah, we're all lost, Zoe. So maybe she will, but until she does, I'm bored of it. Because she's saying the same stuff episode after episode after episode. I don't want to keep hearing the same shit. Either explain more or stop. Because then y'all gonna go to this pastor and tell him a bunch of basically nothing. One person did all the talking. It's a relationship takes two. 50-50. That's how I feel. But we then see China's stripper event. She tells her story, which many of us knew about, and the things that led to her decision to becoming sober. I commend her for doing that. I think that she is proof that you can turn around your image if you actually do the work. So that's what I'll say about that. Now, after China tells her story and all of these things at the event, after all of that passes, we then see Eliza apologize to Tip for getting upset at Miami Tip for holding her accountable with how she treats her daughter. And I feel like Eliza's only apologizing to Tip because she needs a friend. She let go of Van. She not dealing with Estelita. She just barely got back cool with Amada. So I feel like Eliza's just trying to save face for the show. Um, and she starts talking to Tip, which was awkward, about how much she sees her grandchild. And I feel like she did that thinking that Van would go and tell people that she's not genuine without showing the receipts. And just at that moment, while she's describing that, this is where Estelita pops up and in at the event, and it looked like she was behind um the little tape they put up or whatever, so people can't get to the VIP. It looked like Estelita could not get through to them because it looks like they're in a special section. But Estelita is mad and tells her of all the things that Van said. And this is like I said earlier, I believe Van. Is he right to tell her business? No. Do I believe what he said? Yes. And when production asked Eliza if she only sees her baby or her granddaughter and her daughter when the cameras is on, Eliza was entirely silent. I thought that was weird because you would think that that would be the one thing that you felt the need to defend yourself on, the type of parent and grandparent you are. That's what you would expect from her. But she was silent. But we already seen the receipts, boo. Say nothing all you want. Anybody surprised at Eliza not being the most present parent? I, look how she had the last baby. That's all I'm saying. Welcome in, DM Rocks. It says, hey, did y'all see Flo's statement? We are getting there. We're actually almost to um, that part of the show. I did see the statement. I am going to comment on it. That bitch is loony, is what I will say. Ariel Watcher said he is a character that just popped up from nowhere. Oh yeah. But yeah, this is Van really is. He's irritating. But yeah, Eliza doesn't respond to Estelita going off about all the things that were said, including the business. And basically, Eliza says this is very high school and she does not care. And when she says that, Estelita act like she want to fight. This is the same Estelita who says she don't fight for nobody and nothing. But she once again tried to fight. I'm tired of it. Estelita will fight the twig. She'll fight the grasshopper in the meadow. Estelita is fighting demons when she's asleep and awake. I'm over it. That's my comment. James.
Mm, I don't have no comment because once again, it's stupid.
Yeah.
It's like, ma'am, sit down, please, because we don't need this from you.
Two gold diggers arguing does not impress me. They don't. One of them trapped a rich man because she knew he would sleep with her unprotected, as he's done several times. And the
I was
other
gonna say
one,
he got 50, 11 children up here in this world.
right?
They don't even
And
claim. So, girl,
Estelita ain't no better because she got with Stevie J at the height of his fuckery. And then we learned that when she was done with him, she had a sugar daddy that passed away and left her a condo and some money. So I'm not about to argue or even comment on two gold
I
diggers
wonder how much she
arguing.
got because she looked like she lived real comfortably.
She does. She has to. She has to. But she did it right. She said, fuck a rapper, fuck a ball player. I'm gonna get me that old money. The stuff that won't run out even after he in the dirt. So I'll give us the lead of that. Moving on, you guys, we get to Shay's event, and I'm not sure why Ching Diamond came with the energy like I'm here to check Shay for Zoe. Never check nobody for nobody without knowing both sides of the
Without
story.
knowing all the details, I know. I looked at her. I was like, "Girl, if you don't go sit down somewhere." See, now I'm trying to like her. I really am, but she's been doing too much.
I like her energy, but I need her to stay in her lane and think before she reacts. And I think she'll do fine on the show and in her career. Um, Florence L. Luce shows up to the event, and Amada is there as well. And Shay, of course, encourages the two to talk. And I'm not gonna lie, Amada said, listen, I'm not a drink thrower. I know how to use my words. Amada said, I'm gonna remind everybody I didn't hit her first. But Amada, I'd also like to remind you, you may not hit people first, but you are not innocent and you use your words as a weapon, which is very much so possible. Sometimes the best way to get someone to hit you is if you're intelligent with your words. And I think Amada knows that. Now, Flo and Amada talk, and Florence asks Amada like what her real issue is with her, and then explains all these things that she's done for Amada. But she did make me laugh, y'all. I know we don't like her. Well, I don't right now, but she did make me laugh when she said to Amada, "I came to your lipstick event. I bought your lipstick. You never shipped it." I said, "Oh, not you never shipped it," which I believe. But Amada
Me
explains
too.
her. James said, "Let me get into those shit." Me too. But Amada brings up the fact and brings up her perspective, and Flo basically says she doesn't care about Amada's perspective. And Amada says to Flo that she wants her life. And I'm looking like, Amada, I don't think nobody wants your life. It may have used to be like that, but not anymore.
I would have
Uh,
thought it was the other way around. You call that lady's husband.
right. If I do want a life, I wouldn't want either of them life. One of
I
them's a
wouldn't want either here because
mistress.
you ain't finna sleep with my sister. No, that ain't finna happen, sir. So I
Right.
don't
One of
understand.
them's a
Like
mistress and the other has a husband that slept with the whole
the
Miami.
whole damn family. Shit, ain't nobody
Yeah,
feel. Hey, maybe wonder if he slept with that damn mama too. Shit.
he might have. The way she said, "Do what you have to do, Mylan." I said,
Right. The way she was like the way she was the operator at the 911 office. Hell, that's the way I shit.
mm. Flo's mom is a problem too, because you are as good as your parents teach you to be. That's all I'm gonna say. But she doesn't. Flo, nobody wants your life. Hold on. Erica Mena made a statement about how Flo should be fired if she was. Erica Mena's right.
I agree. Me too.
Here's the thing. Erica Mena, I think, did learn her lesson to a certain extent. Just because you have a baby by a black man, baby, does not give you a pass in the community to disrespect and say whatever the hell you think you want to say about black people. It's just a fact. I think we all, as people of color, whether you black, brown, Hispanic, whatever the hell, all people of color, we should all be sticking beside each other and not bringing up issues like this. But I'm not surprised Erica did, because if Erica got fired, Flo definitely should be fired. Because if I had to pick one of the two that was worse, I'm gonna comment on that after. I feel like Flo's comment was even worse because Spice be looking a hot mess. But Flo's comment was actually worse. Now, what ends up happening, they go back and forth and they're arguing, you want my life, you want my life. And Amada brings up Flo being how you supposed to, promote confidence when you sell skin bleaching products in your store, which I did not know Flo sold those products. That is an interesting thing. And it's sad that people feel that they need those products. I am extremely chocolate. I am dark chocolate. And
It
I,
actually
I
makes sense.
it does make sense because you look
It
at the
does
rest
make
of the
sense now.
family.
Yeah, now that she pointed it out and I'm looking at Flo and
Mm-hmm.
Gael, it makes sense. Now I want to see younger pictures of them.
Because when they showed the one younger picture of Marlon in earlier episodes, Flo looked like a different person in a different tone. So I don't think Amara was lying about that. But Amara's like, how can you preach confidence when you teach and promote women bleaching their skin? And this is where Flo's response is, that's why your baby daddy called your black ass ugly and, talked about her skin tone and all of these things. And Flo took it a step further and comments, oh, you know, is this why dark skinned girls be having a problem with light skinned girls? Don't be hating on me because I'm light skinned. And I'm just like, oh, here goes the ignorant colorism. I'm not going to quote the ignorance that was said word for word, just because it's already on television. Y'all want to see it, go watch it. I'm sure it's on YouTube. But I will say, as someone who's extremely chocolate, I do not support what Flo said. It's I I I don't support Amada either, but I don't, bringing race into things is a problem. I know some people may feel like because Amada mentioned the skin bleaching thing first, that could be a problem, but she didn't mention the skin bleaching as a direct dig to Flo. It's just like you talk about confidence, but you sell a product that's directly linked to the African Americans' lack
It was just
of
Amara was trying to call
confidence,
her a self-hating black woman.
which she
That's just,
is.
that's just really what it is.
Because to stay with Marlon, she's definitely that. But Flo's responses were not okay, and you could tell that she really felt that way. Uh, let's get through the comments. Ariel Watches said Flo is a clown this season. They really let this woman think that her husband was cheating on her again. Once again, Mona's puppets. I feel like it's
I feel
shenanigans.
like no, I feel like no, I feel like it's a constant thing. I think his cheating is constant. I don't think it was. I don't. Here's the thing. I feel like it's constant. I feel like Flo knows about it, and they have some sort of arrangement
That's why I
where
call it
he can't.
shenanigans.
Yeah, I feel like it's constant. I do. I feel like and I feel like she knows about it. And she maybe does care to some extent, but money is bigger than him cheating. That's how I feel.
Hmm. I mean, I'm sure that he is likely cheating left and right. Because if someone forgive you for sleeping with their sister, oh, nothing can ever be as bad. But Flo is definitely a clown. She clearly felt the way about the skin bleaching thing. That clearly got to her because that's where she starts saying that. But why are you attacking dark skinned women, darker complexioned women? They don't all hate on people for skin tones. And not all lighter complexioned women hate on dark skinned women or feel that we hate on them. Like the colorism has to stop. I know it's something that's deep rooted, goes all the way back, even prior to slavery. It's always been an issue, but it's disgusting and foul. And I'm tired of loving hip hop, feeling like their comeback needs to be talking about all this racist stuff. The bitch they went in good evening. She stated Erica Mena is horrible. She had no business commentating. Erica Mena is horrible, and people actually got mad at myself and James for reading them for filth when she made that comment calling Spice a monkey. Spice was aggressive, but my thing is no matter how aggressive someone is or what the beef is, even if someone puts their hands on you, you don't need to take it to a point where you bring up their skin, colorism, racist comments. Like it's never okay, in my opinion. A bitch stay with it also commented, did you notice that Flo was brown skin before she bleached her skin? Yes. She was, if we go back to the first season where we met Flo, it's a whole different person. If y'all pay attention to the decorations in her house when they be showing little family photos and stuff, she's much darker in every single photo. So where she's almost unrecognizable as she is today. So she definitely feels away. Haitian people are also known to be noticeably chocolate, usually, at least most of the Haitian people that I've met. So maybe she feels a way about that. Whatever
I've
it
lived in
is.
South Florida and they all resemble Zoe Brings to me more so than they would
Mm,
Flo. So yeah, no, she definitely is her and Gael both are definitely using the heavy bleach.
mm. Well, Gael is nothing will help that face, but moving on. Next comment. Unfortunately, it's a staple in African and Haitian communities. I don't know why they bleach their skin. Yes, as so what a part of the African community that I don't know why they do it. Your skin is beautiful to anyone thinking of doing or adding any chemical to their body or something that you don't
Well,
need.
it's
Your skin
because
is
it
beautiful.
yeah, it's a social status thing and to society where you're close proximity to white, where you want to be as close to that as possible. Like I learned that when I was, because in where we're from, that's not really that preyed upon. Like it really is, and like the darkest of darkest people are further in community chairs than other nationalities and other things. So we didn't really go through that as much as it was just kind of like a dig that we didn't take serious. Where in Florida, they look at it as like an ultimatum life choice. Like you need to do this in order for you to get somewhere. Like they really make it prevalent to do it. So it was, yeah, it's really interesting.
Yeah, it's crazy. Where we're from, they actually do it. I've had several people suggest that I need to lighten my skin. I've been made
Really?
fun of for my skin. Yes. I think what it is growing up in California, specifically the Bay Area, I feel like as a woman, you experience it more than males, you know? Because I have
Which is
cousins who are
crazy because I
males
can
who are my.
remember in high school people loving your skin tone.
The same people be the same people talking about it. And then even outside of the school, like just in my day-to-day life, I've always had
Yeah, I
people
can understand that because I
comment,
wasn't there throughout all that.
suggested,
Yeah.
you need to perm your hair. I had an ex-boyfriend in high school tell me I was too black to wear a fro. I was like, wait, that back up because you realize this how my hair grew out the roots. So it's unfortunate, but I hope that everybody learns to love themselves. We have to really focus less on public perception and focus more on what makes us feel good. There is somebody for everybody. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder. So the person that's looking at you may not feel that you're attractive, but the very next person may feel that you are. That's why it's unfortunate when people do that to themselves. But it's just extremely low of flow to take it to that level. It didn't need to go to that point. Like she doubled down on it, and that's what made it bad for me to watch. Uh, a bitch that would have said Batman is a cheater. What do you mean? Again, Batman is a cheater. Who- What? James, did you catch? Maybe it's me. Please explain. I apologize. He never stopped cheating. No, he did not. If he slept with her sister, he slept with everybody and is still sleeping with everybody. I don't buy half of their storyline, though. I don't
I
think
don't
that
either. As
Flo,
I said, I'm questioning that mama next.
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Ariel Watches says, I think Flo talks like that on the regular. Me too.
Same here.
Because if it's not just, she didn't, there was no sign of discomfort in the things that she said. And that is the part that makes it even worse. Like, can you at least be a little bit uncomfortable saying this awful thing? It's unfortunate as Black people, we need to lift each other up, not tear each other down. And if you do beef, because no person is perfect, not all people will get along. You do not need to attack people's skin tone, culture, and or race. You just don't need to do that. A bitch they when and Haitian people come in a variety of brown. They do. They do. They absolutely do. They absolutely do. Uh, However, I feel like Flo has issues with the type of brown that she came in being Haitian. It's just really unfortunate because I feel like, not to get off subject, I feel like we've had Haitian people on Love and Hip Hop Miami before, like Jesse Wu, and I mean, where I'm at, we have a smaller Haitian community. James has been familiar with the Haitian community that's in Florida. But it's so strange because Flo and them have been on this show for some time, and she has not repped her community in the best way. She's demonstrated racism, no respect for marriage, constant fights, family issues. Like, when a lot of the Haitian people that I have met are like rich in their cultural values and value family and things of this nature, they don't have experiences like this. Maybe I don't know, maybe they are, but it's like, Flo, you're coming on this show making an absolute fool of yourself. Like, I don't take any of them seriously, and it's become too much. It's become too much. Um, South Florida, I'm in North Florida, and we don't do that. I notice with Florida, I'm not from there, but there seems to be a huge difference from South Florida to the rest of Florida. Florida is very complex, is what I'll say. Um, a bitch they when it also stated Asian, Haitian, African, Latino is more of a social status for them. That's so unfortunate. That's so unfortunate. Yes, she did say that. The end of the show is crazy. Like, the comments, I think she should be fired. One, I think that when it comes to racism, prejudice, things of that nature, there should be a no tolerance rule for it from the network. And it's kind of concerning that people had to ask for Erica to be fired. Now people are going to have to ask for Flo to be fired. But I I don't know that they'll fire Flo. I don't know if James feels any differently. Can you hear me,
I'm a
James?
wait. It's a wait and see. It's a wait
Yeah,
and see because
yeah.
I don't know with this. I don't really. I don't put it past VH1 to keep her, but then also I think it depends on the outrage of the fans, and I don't think the fans are as mad at Flo as they were at Erica. So it's a wait and see for me.
I think it's different because with Erica, she is not someone who identified with the sides of Black culture. I believe she's not African American. She may have that in her blood based on her actual race. But with Erica Mena, it was different. She also used a word that is known to be derogatory. She called that woman a monkey out the blue. When she could have said so many things, she could have attacked Spice's parenthood right back at her as she felt attacked by her being a parent. So Erica's was much more harsh. With Flo, I think the reason the outrage is not the same is because she's technically a part of those African American communities in the Black community. So it's kind of like a colorist thing, kind of like what we see on Housewives of Potomac when Candace was there. But I feel like it's awful what she said, and she needs to be fired. She just does, because they're not. I understand we need drama for the show, but like, Flo and her family have just made a mockery of Black people, Black business, Black love. Like, they ain't really brought much positive to the show. And I still don't know that she sings or raps. I still don't know. Shani said the show is over. I just came back to throw up some more hearts for you to show some
We
love. Thank you.
appreciate you. But hey,
She's
real
so
quick,
sweet.
I gotta get out of here and go to work. But thank you so much for having me. I appreciate you and love you so
Indeed.
much.
Have a good shift. But yeah, I don't
Thank you.
understand why Love and Hip Hop Miami of all of the franchises, y'all, has continued to come back. I just don't. I feel like Love and Hip Hop Miami could have went, but they seem to keep it going. Hi Shayna. Flo pissed a lot of people off real bad. A lot. Um, you didn't know Eliza was Haitian. She is. She definitely is. But Bistate when it said also Haitians and Dominicans are not the best of friends since they share an island. Dominicans do not like Haitians. People should look up the history of how the island got split and all of those things. I looked it up and was interested to learn that there's like actual active stuff still going on with that. I say that to say you brought up a really good point, Abiste Winning. Are y'all watching? Said Flo's $1 million house will be gone. You know that ain't her house. She lives in it. She probably has a lease, but I don't believe she owns it. That's just my opinion. I'm like, come on, how you got $1 million house when just a second ago your business was supposed to be damn near about to be evicted and all this extra stuff, but now you can own a multi-million-dollar home. If anyone understands how credit actually works, you can pay stuff off on your credit, but it does take time to reflect on said actual report. So ain't no way she paid that off that fast. I think we were all tired of Erica. She did the same thing every season. And James is so funny because he used to say that when she mad, we know I just want to pop that vein. And I believe it. I believe it. I believe it. I believe yes, James works nights, everybody. That is why he has been leaving my life just a smidge early because the last thing you want is to be tired going into work. But yeah, he works nights and he works hard, and we do appreciate him being here. Most of us have day jobs. I do, Shayna does, James does. You know, we just on here because we like the shoes. A bitch they would have said Flo is not a millionaire. I doubt if she owns that house. Thank you, sis. She does not own it. She doesn't. She does it. She does it. Shayna stated, I've seen Flo with her makeup off. Even with all that bleaching, she's not that light to say someone's jealous of her skin tone. She looks somewhat chocolate in the picture, in the graphic that's up on the screens now. She is not the lightest woman, but that's going to upset her as quiet as it's kept. She definitely we've always known that she's insecure and needs help because why are you still with a man or why would you stay married with a man after he sleep with your blood sister? However, comma, Flo, stop. I don't know how she'll recover from this. I really don't. It'll be difficult. I think she's welcomed permanent controversy into her career, and that's not good because Love and Hip Hop is not going to last forever. The show should have been canceled a while ago. I'm surprised it's still going, but this is not going to fare well for her. A bitch day when it said the products that she sell are bleaching cream. She wanted to say that they are beauty creams, but they are not. She's deceptive. The bitch is a liar. I'm not surprised. And she calls them beauty queens because maybe she views the creams as something that makes her feel beautiful or will make other people beautiful. It's unfortunate, but sometimes, and that's the thing with being on TV, they get comfortable or passionate and don't realize that the way that they feel the things that they say are actually not okay, especially in today's era where we're really trying to be more woke and overcome negativity. And then she comes with this. It's irritating. It's irritating as hell. Especially we just saw Flo and Gael's kids on the last episode. They're both chocolate as hell. So for her to even make that comment, I feel bad for when her kids see this one day, which they will. Are y'all watching the way she was letting folks know she bought $1 million home? That's how you know you either did not, cannot truly afford it, or your new money. Her edges was showing. Shayna said everything she says sounds like a lie. I didn't even believe her and Marlon are really married at this point. I used to feel that way too. Um, I feel like a part of it is BS. I do think Marlon's cheating on her still left and right. I just think he's gotten better at it, but I don't know. I feel like they keep the drama going for no reason. Like I don't think that Flo really dated that Claudia chick from last season. Flo needs to go. Flo is a flop. She just is. And her BBL looks like a stuffed diaper when the babies run into the pool or at the beach and they diapers get full. That's what her BBL looks like. So, you know, she's mad about skin tones when she needs to be mad at her plastic surgeon. Um, a bitch they went and said, but those people accept dark skinned boys, but not dark skinned girls. That was actually, common back in the day. In today's times, like Gen Z, younger people, they don't really have to deal with that too much. But like when I was coming up as a chocolate woman, I mean, dark skinned boys. Like I had cousins that are my exact same age, chocolate. Everybody loved the most attractive thing ever. Myself, same skin tone. I was viewed as crispy, unattractive, all these crazy things just based on skin tone. Luckily, I had a dad that drilled into my brain that I am beautiful, my skin's beautiful, and taught me to fight. But not everybody has that. Not everybody has that. Um, a bitch said when it said Amada looked great with that short hair. She's really a beautiful woman. She is. She's a hoe, but she's a beautiful woman. And I wish that Amada would have the confidence in her beauty that all of us have in it. Because you could tell that she's not confident. Flow. Flow equals me. Huh. That's a good point. That's a very good point. That's a good point. But I just want to be very clear to everybody in the channel as a woman that is dark chocolate. Has African people in my family, like fresh off the boat, things of that nature, but also a dad that's, just raised in America and all of those things. I do get to see the best of both worlds. And I will say that all Black people are beautiful. We are resilient. We are strong. We are amazing. I support Black people, Black skin, dark skin, light skin, whatever the hell you are. I support being a good person. No one should be okay with the comments that Flo made. I was glad that Amara kept her coof instead of getting up to fight, but I don't support that shit on this channel. I just don't. In no way, if I have an argument with a female, am I going to bring up your skin. That is the weirdest thing to bring up. I think it's important to know that sometimes the weapons that people think they're using against us are the weapons that they feel against themselves. So I'll leave it there. Um, Shada said Amada is gorgeous, and the only thing people say about her is she's dark, and I'm so tired of it. Girl, since season one, and Hispanics, we saw season one how people were upset, at her leaning into the African part of her culture, but I think about her, it's unfortunate. She's a human, so she's gonna make mistakes and do dumb stuff. But I do think it opened people's eyes so that they could learn more about Hispanic, Latina culture, all these different things, and that Black people come in all shades. We can speak all languages. There's Black people everywhere. We are great. So that's my stance on it. I hope that Flo gets fired. I knew that she was a dingbat, and eventually her family would do something to get them put off. And I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. I'm so tired of it. But that's pretty much it, y'all, for my recap. And again, if people see nothing wrong with Flo's comment, that is fine. But normally I say, everyone's entitled to their own opinions. But when it comes to the racial shit, I really could give a flying fuck. Don't come on my channel with that bullshit. If you feel like light skinned people look better, or if you feel the need to be colorist or racist, there are millions of creators available on YouTube. And I encourage all of you to utilize and use your search engine and find somebody else, because don't do that on my channel. Don't do that. But other than that, I love all of y'all. We'll be back again tomorrow for Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Also Housewives of Beverly Hills. And I believe James has Salt Lake City that comes on Wednesday, and we'll recap that on Thursday. So love and light to all of you. Link to James's channels in the description of this video. Check out the music reaction if you're into, what the hell was that reaction for? Rap music. And I'll see y'all on the next live. Adios.